Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
What's going on?
I'm doing good. How's my little Pitutes?
Oh, you've been waiting to do
I've
that,
been waiting
haven't
for
you?
this.
This is great.
Pitutes is actually a really cute name, and it's Danna's nickname.
It's my family calls me Pitutes.
Pitutes.
My grandma, when I was a baby, called me her petunia blossom.
Which is kind of funny. Like, how did she just come up
I
with
don't know.
petunia?
It's
That's a big name for a little baby.
It's a random flower. But she called me her petunia blossom, and she called it my whole life. She called me that. And my aunt used to say Grammy's petunia blossom, and then she shortened it to Grammy's Pitutes.
But
it
Pitutes is cute.
became Pitutes.
So now we're calling Danna Pitutes.
Well,
I'm going to change it. I don't even know how you spell Pitutes.
It's like I spell it Pitutes, but Tom says Toot, like toot, like fart.
Toots.
Yeah.
Someone
I
said
know.
it's because she poops a lot.
My aunt said that. Oh no, and then Olivia said, "Well, she's not petite, so I don't know why you call her Pitutes." And I was like, "No."
So, but we were discussing this, which is a valid thing because petite, like my grandma always had to wear petites because she had a really short torso, and she was just a tiny little lady. Like her arms were shorter, her legs were shorter. There's nothing petite about the two of us because we have like normal size body.
I think both of us are like more than normal size. I mean, we're not like...
So we are taller than the average.
We are. That's what I'm saying. Like we're taller. We're not like big girls, but we're like taller than most girls,
yeah.
I think. So.
I've never been petite.
No.
Olivia is petite. I always had a friend like Olivia, and I always was very jealous.
Yeah, I could understand that. Like all my friends were always shorter and tinier and
right, but she probably, my friend, I guarantee you, she wished that she was taller.
Oh, always.
So it's always what you don't have.
For
but
sure.
I always thought, man, they make some cute stuff in like littler sizes.
We're the same. I'm so tired, you guys. I can't.
Danna's longest day. I'm frankly tired too. You're like emotionally drained and tired,
Yes.
and I'm just like, I don't even know. I'm just driving around up and down 71 because it's fun.
Well, so my grandpa passed away last Wednesday. And he's been sick.
Which is a blessing.
It is. He's been sick for a super long time, and he had Alzheimer's. And if anyone has ever gone through a family member of Alzheimer's, I feel so badly for you because it is probably the worst thing I've ever watched. And what's really interesting is my other grandpa also passed from Alzheimer's, but it was just very different. Like my other grandpa was very quiet the last few years of his life. Like he would just kind of like be there and just quiet. And I think maybe he knew something was off and he was embarrassed by it, so he just didn't speak. And this grandpa that just passed, this was my mom's dad, he was very vocal and sometimes a little angry and
I thought about this because different doctors, different medicine.
Yeah.
Like I wonder.
Yeah, for sure. Could be.
And the disease is different for everybody.
And well, so my grandma passed 11 months ago and he got diagnosed. So she was sick for 3 weeks before she passed. 2 weeks before she passed, she was diagnosed with cancer and then passed away right away. The week she was diagnosed with cancer, he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. He had been sick for probably about 5 years prior, but...
Classic example of like your spouse covering for you.
Totally.
Like there were probably things she knew.
We did not know as bad as it was. Exactly. And she covered. And so when she passed away, they do say that like if there's like a major loss, like it'll kind of like
trigger,
speed it into gear. Yeah. And that's what happened. And so he... lasted 11 months. The last like 3 months have been just an atrocious thing to watch all of our family go through. So I feel for anyone that has gone through it. It is a blessing. It is really kind of cool to know that my grandparents are together again. They were married for almost 65 years. So it is like, we were laughing. We were supposed to have my grandma. So in Jewish religion, a year after someone passes, you have a stone setting where the tombstone is set in place. And we were supposed to have my grandma's the first week of July. And we have decided to actually push hers back. There's no like law that says you can't do that in our religion. And so we're gonna order his stone tomorrow and then
do them together.
And we think it's kind of cool. But what was also really cool is in the midst of all of this, my little brother got married this weekend. And 2 years ago, he's been engaged for 2 years. And I remember when he got engaged, my grandparents were fine. Like they were very, very active and a very young 80s, I would say.
For sure.
And my mom was mad at him because it was going to be a 2-year engagement. And she was like, "What? Your grandparents aren't even going to be alive in 2 years. Like, we don't even know who's going to be here in 2 years. You're going to wait that long." And then, they both had passed. But it was kind of cool because he passed 2 days before the wedding, and my mom was like, well, now they are at the wedding together. So she was like kind of happy. Like she was not happy, but you know what I mean.
The wedding was beautiful. I saw some pictures.
The wedding was like really cool. Like it was really at a cool spot. Like it's in Marysville, Ohio. So it's outside of Columbus. If you've ever been there, it's called Retreat 21. It's about 2 or 3 years old, and it is a very, I would say, rustic / industrial vibe to it. There's a little bug here. And you have the wedding in this gorgeous venue, but then outside of the venue are all of these cabins. And they're super like gorgeous cabins. Like they're not like gross or anything. They were absolutely gorgeous. And every family in the wedding party, like stayed in a cabin. So like my kids and I and Tom all had our own, and my brother and his wife and their kids. And it was a cool little like adventure. It was super fun.
The mini vacay.
Yeah, but we were really impressed. Like if you need a wedding venue in that area of town, Retreat 21, I don't think it is very inexpensive. I definitely think it was pricey. I don't know for sure, but it was absolutely beautiful. I was impressed.
That's good.
Impressed. So yeah. So it's been a very long few days.
We finished school. You had a wedding.
Yes.
We had Bill had a birthday. We had an anniversary.
Oh,
Strawberry
don't worry.
season.
They threw the birthday party at my house. So that was cool.
I feel like
the night before I
volunteered.
No, I said, Kristin, let's go out to dinner. That's what I said.
But I said I can't because I forgot my sister was coming, and she came with her 3 kids.
They all came. Everybody
and her mother-in-law.
came.
And we all came over. And as we were leaving our house, because I'd been, we were doing 25,000 things, which is normal, making this cake for Bill, which was a cheesecake covered in a bottom layer of strawberry cake and a top layer of strawberry cake and covered. It was the most ridiculous recipe. I would never advise anyone to eat it. But Bill said he kind of liked it. So he's like,
never getting it again.
He's like, well, maybe you should make it again. And like, no, it could not have been as good as the time that it took me.
Right. It wasn't worth it.
But like by the time we were ready to come here, Olive was melting down, ready for bed. The baby we needed to eat. Archie was tired.
I had worked till 6 and I was like, oh, why don't you come at like 6:30 or 7? Like, let me go home and like just get situated. And at about 7:30, I was like, hey, are you coming? Hey.
We're trying.
I'm trying to throw a party for your husband. The kids had been to
graduation because they were in graduation band. They beat us here because, going anywhere with 3 little kids.
Yep. I was like, hey, we're here just waiting to throw a party for your husband. Here we are. Just waiting to cook him dinner.
So we came.
It's been a long week.
It has been. And I've only made like 5 trips to Columbus since then. I don't even know. Like literally this might be the record week of trips up and down. So there's this thing called Camp Ohio, and it's a 4-H camp, but they also host other camps there too. And if your child ever has a chance to go to Camp Ohio, when I say camp, like I camped at Camp Tar Hollow for 4-H, which is in the hills of Laurelville, or Tarleton, actually.
I don't feel like she's speaking any English.
Yeah, Laurelville, Tarleton.
I don't even know where that is.
Southern Ohio.
For sure.
We camped in rustic cabins. Like you had to check your sleeping bag for snakes. Camp Ohio has nice cabins, a pool. The pool doesn't need replaced, but they have an archery range, a gun range, high ropes course, climbing walls, zip lining, and I don't know what you're talking about over there behind me, but I'm looking.
So I have to interrupt this story to tell you how Kristin sucks up to my mother-in-law.
I like your mother-in-law.
I love my mother. I have a great mother-in-law.
Today is her birthday.
Today is her
Maria,
birthday. Happy birthday,
Maria.
But so Kristin it is currently 9:40 at night.
Maria cooks like I like to cook.
She's a cook.
For an army.
She's amazing. And she made pizzelles and Italian cookies to bring.
Which my husband loves.
Yes. And in Jewish religion, you have a Shiva after. So Kristin and Bill came to the Shiva today after the funeral. And my mother-in-law came and she brought these cookies. And
we didn't take anything. But we didn't need to because your family has enough desserts for
ridiculous. It's
2 weeks.
Ridiculous.
For 50 people a day.
But so she just texted my mother-in-law, happy birthday. And I had one of your cookies and it was amazing. Okay. And blah, 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 blah,
Where
blah,
I grew
blah,
up,
blah.
we didn't have much ethnic culture. Literally, up here, everybody has a vowel in their last name.
This is true.
We're the Roots, the Reeses, the Pattersons,
right.
the Sharps, the Halls. It's normal. up here, everybody has like, I don't know, it's like the melting pot in Ohio. Is. And so we never had Italian food. So to think that we had like Italian grocery stores and like all these different like Croatian
like we have grocery
a specific
store that like only Italian
like the export store.
Import. Okay. We don't send it out. We bring it in.
Well, Maria could send it out.
So she goes to the import store.
She makes these Italian cookies, and I don't know. Tonight, they were like the best I've ever had.
She was sucking up good. But so my mother-in-law like just texted
shortbreadish cookie with a little bit of lemon hint, and then it's like drizzled, actually drowned in this frosting.
Icing. And then you dip them in your coffee.
And the coffee is the best. That is, I should have taken
there's one. There's probably, I'll bring you some home tomorrow. There's more there.
Oh man, I'd love one with my coffee.
There's probably like, I went gluten-free about 2 years ago, and I would say there's probably about, I can count on one hand how many things I genuinely feel that
But she could make those gluten-free, I bet, with the 1-to-1.
She could, but like...
She would. Maria, maybe you should make them
but I don't know that it would be the same. But I'm just saying, like, that's one of those things that, like,
you just
night after a party, dipping it in my coffee in the morning, like, I miss that. That is, like,
that's a good cookie.
Okay, go back to camp. I'm sorry, I interrupted, but I just had to say how you were
But we took Jack to camp on Saturday, then dropped him off there. And then I had the opportunity to go back to camp. They invite some people back who help support the camp. And by sitting on the Ohio 4-H Foundation, I got to go. And I've been invited a couple times, never gone. It's not exactly close to us. It's like 220.
I was going to say, so it's like not.
But Jack was there. And so I'm like, this would be the perfect year to go. So I had gone to this camp when I was in 4-H, but it is so different and so much better. So I got to see Jack and see his like table that he was having lunch with, and he was doing great. He loved it. He was having a good time. Not that I thought he wasn't, but it was just kind of fun to see him. And then I drove to wash sheep, and then I came home, and now I'm going back to camp to pick him up.
So you came home today?
Today I came home.
So you stayed over last night?
At my parents', but they weren't home because they're in Mississippi with my brother. And I washed sheep from 4 o'clock. We cut sheep out, which is like we shaped them with our electric shears. Shaped them out, cut hooves, washed them all. I got home about 10. Then I went to bed. Well, took a shower first, obviously.
Please.
And then I woke up, did some chores, and drove home. I was here by 10. On with my day. Tomorrow I leave again at 8 to go back to camp to pick them up, and then back to fit sheep, only to drive home again, to go back to Columbus on Thursday and back home.
So wait, so you will drive
and
home.
Back to Columbus on Friday. It is insane.
Wait, so you will drive home tomorrow night. Sleep at home.
Yes.
Drive back to Columbus on Thursday morning?
Thursday afternoon. Jack has to be there at 2.
Okay. And then you'll stay overnight Thursday night?
No, we drive back.
You're driving there at 2 o'clock and you're coming home that same day?
Yeah. Because Jack has soccer. No, he has drumline Friday.
Okay.
So then he's going to drumline, and then Jack and I are taking the big truck and trailer down to load it up to leave for a sheep show in Marion on Saturday, and then Crawford County on Sunday. And then we'll come home on Sunday night.
And your kids are with their dad, right?
Yeah, but they're going to the sheep show.
They are coming to the sheep show. Okay, good.
So, it's a little insane.
Is it just you and the kids?
Me and the kids. Bill's not going because we're in Strawberries. He's not coming. Well, and somebody has to stay back here.
Well, did you hear the panic in my voice? I'm like, oh God, Bill's not going, right?
No, he's not going, but he's going tomorrow because he has to be at the same event that we all have to be at. It's the Ohio 4-H Achievement Awards. So they recognize like the top 4-H members in each category.
Wait, I thought you were going down tomorrow.
No, that's Thursday. Camp. Sorry. Yeah, tomorrow's Jack from camp. I'm getting it all confused.
Oh
that's Thursday. So he's going Thursday because we sponsor one of those awards.
That's when you go in the afternoon and then come back.
Yeah.
I can't. Like we were annoyed. Tom was annoyed last week, and I'm laughing so hard because this is such like a first world problem. So he went on a golf trip in Apple Valley, which is also like, half hour outside of Columbus. And he came home Thursday afternoon. And then we drove back down to Marysville on Friday afternoon. He was basically home for less than 24 hours. And he's like, this is so annoying. I feel like a Patterson. He's like, I'm just driving up and down 71. He's like, I should have just stayed. And then he was even more annoyed because there was a golf course right next to where the Retreat 21 is.
You could have golfed.
He was like, I could have just stayed and played golf. And I'm like, well, you could have. Like, I would have just driven the kids down. It wouldn't have been a big deal.
Yeah.
But whatever.
But we're trying to get our camper ready because this is like for all of you who have campers, it's a lot of work to get it cleaning it up was fine, but like stocking the camper and like putting all this
ready
stuff in.
for the season.
Right. So we're doing that. Plus we have to have all the animals ready because, our animals travel with us in the trailer.
So after this sheep show, you don't have another one until beginning of July?
No. We have potentially 2 more in June. And then we have a big one in nice tropical wear, Tom. Yeah, we'll talk about Tom's outfit he had to wear when he went gaming for the groom's party.
Yes.
No, then we go to Michigan over the 4th of July, and then we're home for a bit, and then we have State Fair. And then we're home for a little bit, but not too long. There's some talk the sheep might go to Iowa. We wouldn't go, but the sheep would go. And then the Big E in Massachusetts.
And when is that?
That's in September. And then Louisville at the end. That's the last one for the season.
And when is that?
That's like the 3rd week in November. Same weekend every time.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So lots of sheep.
I don't get it.
It's like a sport.
I know.
Today I was telling my friend Sarah, her son golfs. And I'm like, just think of it as a golf tournament. Like you go, you compete, you get awards, and you come home. And she's like, yeah, makes sense. But I'm like, but some kids, this is what they do. Like this is their sport.
This is their sport, right?
They don't do other sports. So when your kid do sports and other things,
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
What are all these little bugs?
I don't know. You've got little gnats flying around.
Gnats.
But Tom was holding up. Actually, Tom, you should bring this back. All the groomsmen and the boys, family members, they went gaming, correct, for the wedding?
Yeah, so on the morning of the wedding, the girls all went and got hair and makeup done, and the boys got to get picked up. No.
Yeah, you should put it on.
And this is what my little brother bought everyone. I'm holding it up.
Adults and children.
Adults and children.
But it's not just the pants.
It's not just the shorts. It's the full outfit.
It's the top too. So you have to watch on YouTube. I mean, literally, this is like the most pinky, flamingo-y, tropical.
And so they all wore these.
If you're lucky, maybe Tom will wear that to bed.
I will cry. It's actually quite soft.
It's very soft. Maybe you can wear it. Maybe it's your new pajamas.
It might be. So they went to this, it's called the Sandbox, and it's in Dublin. And they went and did VR all day, and then they came back, and then they went to brunch. And then
where was brunch?
Where?
Tap City.
Okay. I don't know. Okay. So
Sandbox in Dublin.
Then Tap City. Then they all came back to Retreat 21, and outside of Adam's cabin, which is my brother who got married, he had the main cabin, and there's a man-made lake that they have treated. You can swim in it. Mm-hmm. So the
pond, probably.
A pond, yeah, not a lake. I don't know why I said that. A little pond, and it's meant to swim in. And every single cabin had its own solo stove and its own hot tub, outside. It was very nice.
They did it right.
So Friday night, but after the
sounds like
dinner,
my dream.
Yeah, Friday night after the rehearsal, we went over to my brother's cabin
and hung out.
The kids hot tubbed. We sat around the fire, had some wine. It was great. But so they then they came back. They swam all day, and then they started to get ready. And it was so funny because my poor little 6-year-old niece was with us.
I'm with her. She's gonna say
she was angry because she was patient as all get out, and we had her get her hair done last because we didn't want her to mess it up. And really, this was a little bit of poor planning and scheduling wise. They probably should have put my sister-in-law a little later also, so that maybe she could have just come later to the bridal suite to get ready, because it's a lot to keep a 6-year-old entertained from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. when we're starting pictures. So she saw that across the pond where all of the boys were swimming and playing. She started crying, I want to be a boy.
They had way more fun.
Way more fun. Not that it is not nice to drink mimosas, get your hair done, get your makeup done. But
right.
Honestly, I'd rather play VR and swim and veg out and
I could probably do without the VR thing, but going out to breakfast and swim
I don't need
and
the VR
lounging.
Thing. The boy said it was what? It was like a half hour.
I'd probably die.
But they had a blast, and they took a limo bus to do it all.
Oh, see, they had fun.
So it was really funny.
Adam knows how to do it, right?
He does.
Adam Goldberg.
Yes.
And we should tell the funny story. So my husband, he is so smart.
Bill is genuinely
he's a smart
have to
man.
preface this with saying he's one of the smartest men that I know. But
Besides being ruggedly handsome,
I wasn't going there, but as
one
much
of the
as
things.
I don't want to compliment the man most days, I will give him that he is a really, really smart individual.
Yeah, I was attracted to his mind. Like I always say that. Besides being ruggedly handsome, like when he does mathematics in his head, it's like
creepy.
Wow.
She thinks it's sexy. I think it's creepy. It's fine, but.
So today he sends a total random text. I thought since I've been out of town that I was like missing something.
Right. No. So my little brother is on Facebook and his name is Adam Goldberg. You can look him up. He's a pediatric psychiatrist if you need one at
Nationwide Children's Hospital.
Nationwide Children's Hospital in Columbus, Ohio. But he, his name on Facebook is instead of Goldberg, it's A.U. Berg. A.U. is the symbol for gold.
Like even I, of average or lower average intelligence.
Right. Periodic table of elements.
I have a song for the periodical table.
Let's not sing it.
There's antimony, arsenic.
No. All right.
Okay. So, I can sing the whole thing.
So today Bill sent a text. We have a group chat and he sent a text that said something like, I just got it.
But I'm like,
and it's
what?
A screenshot of like my brother on Facebook. And he's like, I had no idea who this person was and why I was friends with them on Facebook. And it clicked with him today that the AU, what are these? All these little gnats. They're like everywhere.
It's your grandpa. He's part of our podcast.
I've decided he's come back as a dragonfly because I never,
those are kind of cool.
Well, I never see dragonflies. And ever since Wednesday, I have seen a dragonfly every single day.
If you see one tomorrow, that's a sign.
I am telling you something is going on. But so anyways, Bill
he wants to see his little Pitutes.
He actually didn't like me at the end. The Alzheimer's didn't
like me. That's okay. My grandma didn't like you. Took away his driver's license. That's what you did.
I drove him to the doctor when he was first diagnosed with Alzheimer's. I was the one that drove him there, and the doctor took his license away. And so he called me the B word to everyone. He would say that B took away my license, or took me to that a-hole. He called the doctor the a-hole that took away my license. So. I know it was just the disease speaking, but
you handled it very well. So my super smart husband just clicked
that A.U. Berg is actually Goldberg. So
we're out of time, friends. This went fast.
It always does.
See, when I'm out of town, we have so many things to catch up on.
We do. So, okay, I will see you all next week.
Until next time, friends, we're Miss Matt.